What's up, Cart Masters? Nightside back with another video. Today I'd like to talk about a new and upcoming game from Koei Tecmo called Wolong Fallen Dynasty, which is basically Nioh, but within the setting of the Three Kingdoms period. I'm going to quickly summarize an interview with the developers from Team Ninja, producer Fumihiko Yasuda, and development producer Masaaki Yamigawa. Link to the original video in the description. Don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment about what your hopes are for Wolong, and smash the subscribe button and bell icon for more variety content. Without further ado, let's get to it. Wolong is set to take place during the fall of the Han Dynasty, which basically leads into the events of the Three Kingdoms period. Using a similar character creation system but with more Chinese-esque design elements, your character is among the heroes during this period who is yet to be a known name. What the general story will be about hasn't been revealed just yet, but as it's set in the beginning of the Three Kingdoms period, many iconic figures who've yet to be famous will surely make an appearance. Just like in Nioh, where we meet historical figures like Oda Nobunaga and Azai Nagamasa, maybe we'll get to see figures like Cao Cao or Dynasty Warriors poster boy Zhao Yun. Heck, we even get to see Lubu, who literally screams of Big Dong energy. Now from the trailer, it looks like we'll get to experience Wolong's renditioning of the Yellow Turban Rebellion, based on the yellow outfits of the enemy that our character fights. In another scene, a bearded man eating some kind of demonic seed transforms into a large demon. A couple of things to note here are that this man could very well be Zhang Jiao, who is the leader of the Yellow Turbans and has typically been characterized in Dynasty Warriors to be a wizard of sorts. The developers also make the mention, in order to increase the scale of combat, supernatural enemy types called fiends have been introduced to the game. There may be a chance that we get to fight many historical figures in both human form and maybe even fiend form. Now at the moment, no real gameplay footage has been shown off, but based off of the interview from IGN, we know the following. The two main objectives of the game design are the feelings of life and death, and if you ask me, seems to be a pretty common concept in Soulsborne games and in Nioh. Chinese martial arts will be heavily expanded, so we can probably expect to see a variety of swords, spears, and much more. I hope we get to see a nice variety of hand-to-hand combat as well. Jumping will be a mechanic in the game, which will mean there is bound to be a lot of verticality available to us in both combat and platforming, offering a lot more freedom and complexity. The game is not open world. The developers have stressed that the game is ultimately a linear experience with crafted stages and missions, but at certain points in the narrative, the player will be more free to enjoy areas that are more open. The tempo of battles will have you switching between defense and offense frequently, which should give the game a much speedier feel. How this will be implemented and how it differs from Nioh will be interesting to see, given that Nioh already had a much faster combat experience compared to games like the Soul series. A new system that revolves around warriors' morale will be introduced. The developers explain this as defeating an enemy should feel good and reward the player, while an enemy may gain something if they defeat the player. Although we don't know how this will play out in the game, on paper it sounds like the game will actually punish you even more for losing to the same enemy multiple times. Weapons of iconic warriors will be in the game. Now, if you're a fan of Dynasty Warriors or the Romance of the Three Kingdoms series, you'll be happy to know that we'll find their signature weapons in the game. However, players may not end up switching their equipment as much compared to Nioh. Now in Nioh 2, many different enemy types, including bosses, would drop a variety of different items, armors, and weapons. In Wolong, however, not all enemies may drop items. And finally, multiplayer will be similar to Nioh 2, which is absolutely fantastic. Nioh 2's multiplayer was very well done, where you could drop into each other's sessions and choose missions that you wanted to clear together, including story missions. And that more or less covers everything. While you've only been teased with a trailer, I am always down for another Soulsborne or Nioh genre type game, as they typically not only are extremely challenging, but are also extremely fun. Nioh 2's multiplayer was a blast to play with friends, and the character creation system was super robust. With a long history of historical simulation games and how well Koei Tecmo does the story of the Three Kingdoms, Wolong Fallen Dynasty seems to have the perfect fusion of Nioh, but set in China. Don't forget, you can check me out on Twitch, where I stream a variety of games, including Monster Hunter and other Musou games like Fire Emblem Warriors. That's it for me, Cart Masters. As always, stay safe, get mad, get sad, have fun, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye! my god, are you kidding me? What? What?